Mani Padme Hum. Om 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 Mani Padme Hum. mani padme hum. Mani padme hum. Om 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 mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Friday morning meditation seminar. I'm glad everyone here and our friends on the internet. Let's suspend our minds just a little bit, freeing awareness to enter its own self, to become aware of awareness itself. It really is great to know the difference between your mind and your awareness. Then you can integrate your mind into awareness. And you can think through awareness and feel through awareness. You can have love through awareness. You can have hate through awareness. You can have memory through awareness. You can have sensation through awareness. You can go to Hawaii in awareness. And then awareness, as you experience the circumstances of your own life, is the path of liberation, just as you are. So suspend our mind again. We'll focus within awareness itself, establishing ourselves there. Once established in the state of awareness, you'll extend through your body, awakening awareness and all the cells and the chakras, extending all the way into the ground, down to the perineum, and all the way up to the palate of the mouth, eyes, top of the head, into the sky. Human heart. Hridayam is the center. Having established ourselves in awareness, embodying it in the body, not outside the body, will extend to the immediacy of our situation, which is the true mandala. And we Extend to each other. And beyond each other. As Dujum Rinpoche, the great Dzogchen master in this century, said, extension is the secret. Now we hear the dog that never barks. Then extend to the ancestors and the mothers and the fathers and the mothers and the fathers of which you and I are expressions. So extend in mutual support, the light extending to the light, the energy extending to the energy. Then we'll extend to the great yogis and teachers we've met and had the good fortune to meet. Those people who embody awareness so clearly that the invisible becomes more visible. I'll extend to Lama Nurla this morning. And Tinley Norbo. And Dujam Lingpa. Ama. Namke Norbo. Dr. Yen Chin. Lama Wandor. Swami Muktananda, Bhagavanityananda, Rinjit Dorje, Kunlen Dechen Lingpa, Tupin Carlson, and to each their own. All these extensions are like extending the width of your tent, the base of your tent. Like stakes in the ground. Won't be blown away so easily. Then we'll extend to the traditions and the lineages that we participate in. Nowadays, with geography being so tiny, information so available, we're able to experience many traditions and initiations. And so they mix in our body, and we become universal persons. And the tribal boundaries thin. And then finally we'd extend to that dimension, which is ineffable, not easily understood. Sambhogakaya, the symbolic dimension, the apparitional, the realm of the deities, devas, dakinis, gods and goddesses. The powers, the qualities of your own primordial awareness, personified, archetypical, primal energies. We'll especially focus on this morning the Dark Mother, Jetsam Trauma. She has many forms in all the traditions. In the Vajrayana, there are many various Dakini practices. And these stories are myths, or mythic invocations they invoke. They're invocations that bring one into the experience of the Dakini. Or said another way, the archetypical dimensions of the awareness field. They bring us into the experiencing of the essential nature of our own awareness. The Dakini is direct perception, gnosis, knowingness, wisdom gnosis. And all these texts are not literal, but they are evocative in the symbolic power to bring forth within you and me, to inform within you and me what they signify, what they symbolize. It is really, really, really true. Everything is method. And these invocations, which are expressions of the singular field of transmission, bringing forth from within our experience of innate awareness, with its wonderful and magical forces. These texts bring forth the various dimensions of our experiential awareness, which for the Vajrayana tantric practitioner is ultimately cosmological and is the anima mystic. The anima, psyche, the psyche is essentially mystical in nature and is essentially oneness. As Carl Jung once said, you do not simply have a psyche, but you live in psyche. The world is psyche, anima mundi. For our purposes, the true unconscious is primordial awareness. As primordial consciousness, primordial awareness is for so many, many people experientially unconscious, unknown, unfelt, unthought, foreclosed. The unconscious as primordial awareness is real, and it is so multidimensional. This reality is manifested both as the symbolic dimension, or Sambhogakaya dimension, the Buddhists call it, which is luminous, vortexual elements, the elements, and is also manifested as a Nirmanakaya dimension. That's the world of us. Desire, flesh, love, hate, cars, charge cards. The symbolic is the medium of reality that brings forth the experiential awareness in all its multidimensionality and all its infinite horizons. The symbolic arises excuse me, out of transitional space of awareness. It arises out of that intermediate area. The archetypical dimension is not consciously experienced if we're only located in our mind. Then it's a fantasy, simply a fantasy. Or if we're located in the body, and the body is separated from mind, separated from transitional awareness, the wordless body. The body without language or understanding. When there is transitional awareness, or this, we call it awareness of awareness, then in this awareness, this uncluttered awareness, it opens us up to its innermost essence and to its more hidden dimensions, concealed dimensions, which is the deities, devas, dakinis, archetypes. So I'm going to invoke this text with us this morning, called Jetsun Trauma, a practice that opens the doors of direct perception. Emaho, that means fantastic. In order to actualize the beloved Dakini Saraswati, that's the goddess of wisdom, gnosis, she who brings forth the radiance of passionate joy, sublime joy, and co-emergent joy. I invoke the Bodhisattva, the Bodhicitta, to become what I am. Omahung, Bodhisattva, Mahasuka, Yana, Datua, Om Ahung, Bodhisattva, Mahasuka, Yana, Datua. Om opens up the experience, to experience it, like an icon. Nirmanakaya, the luminous world we live in. Ah, throat, opens up Sambhogakaya, the archetypes, the energies. Hung opens up inner heart essence, Dharmakaya, pure awareness, pure light. Bodhicitta or Bodhisattva has two meanings. One is the aspiration for realization for one's own self and everyone. And at the same time, it is the great compassion, the great oneness. So the great oneness is that which actually invokes the aspiration for us. It's the first gift. It's the very desire. The great compassion is Mahasukha, the great bliss, the great sweetness. Jnana is direct perception, which is the base of us all. Datua is in every situation. Then the text says, Zang Hum Bam Ho, and it's the invocation of the Dakini. Then it says this, Hung Hung Yam Kam Sum Kem Drum. And then it says this, from the letter E comes a triangular source of all phenomena, having the nature of spaciousness and light. Its top is wide open, and its fine tip points downward. And sometimes people can feel this in their chests. The center of the triangle, or in the center of the triangle, within this sphere, S-P-H-R-E, is a palace having the nature of spontaneous presence. And these texts often describe the world as a palace and a charnel ground. They go together. Trotidakini, Dark Mother. Hung Ho, this palace is complete in all its inner, or this place actually is complete in all its inner and outer characteristics. There is the deity's seat, and then there's the form of the only mother, the Troma. the feminine embodiment of intense, unbound compassion. She's the darkest blue, fierce and magnificently luminous. Her head chakra is adorned with light, and her neck is the head of a grunting pig, symbolizing stupidity, greed, unknowingness, forgetfulness, foreclose. That's saying, in all of us, there's both the concealed and the unconcealed. And the process of realization is the concealed becoming unconcealed, both within and without. Not always easy. She has one face and two arms, and she's so fierce and so powerful. Luminous energy, luminous, shining darkness. She is a warrior, and she manifests an uncanny laughter, both out loud and within you. Her two hands hold a hooked knife for cutting through delusions, and a skull cup filled with blood, filled with the life force, filled with the vital essences, the life essence, spirit. A trident rests in the crook of her arm, Shiva's ornament. And at this moment the text is making reference to the Shaivite tradition, because these two traditions at times meet together in their love of the goddess. She is dancing. She's in a dancing posture, one leg extended and the other bent, just like Lord Shiva over there to the right. And she stands within the mass of raging fire. It's also a metaphor of the Vajrayana path, which is fire, light, so intense. Luminosity. And from the letters Hung Hung, Harinissa, appears the invocation of the retinue of the Dakinis of all the directions. Ma means space, open space. Ha, white as water element. Re, yellow as the earth element. Ni, red, center of a heart, fire element. Green, sa, as air. They're most subtle and most intense. And these are the elements self-arising, manifesting the world. So in the first, even at this moment this is happening, at the first moment of manifestation, out of the pure potentiality, pure Dharmakaya, unbound, without frame, pure openness, infinite openness, the manifestation arises of the elements Vajra, Ratnapadma, Karma Buddha, Vajravahari Hung Ho. Vajravahari is a salutation to the goddess. Hung Ho, from the invisible celestial land of Kachara, Matroma, the Divine Mother, Soul Mother, the Dakini of the Great Compassion, surrounded by Dakinis of all the four families. Kachara is a heavenly realm, a Sambhogakaya dimension, Dakini realm, and Kachara Mudra is the inner palate that opens the door to nectarian states. It's called the womb of the Shakti. So the palate itself is considered a secret place. You can place your tongue there. That opens I invoke you, please come to this place, and remaining in the sun, moon, and lotus seats, and empower me, your devoted son or daughter. I embrace you with love and the devotion of oneness. Divine Dakini, in and through your creative compassion and the purest of love, transform my body, speech, and mind into Kadig, the great purity of awareness, which is the indication of invoking that capacity of direct perception to experience your own awareness in its essential purity, and also the awareness of all phenomena as pure, completely pure. Then equal vision arises. And that is liberation. By embracing you, I become you. You are awareness itself, stainless space, unbound, luminous darkness. Vajravahari Trotikali Harinisa Zaza. Then another invocation. Namo Vajrakamari, Namo Trotikamari Hung. Namo Vajrakamari means I embrace, I invoke, I experience the Vajrakamari. It means unborn, undying, indestructible awareness, which is the very essence of my own subjectivity. Not my mind, not my body, not my circumstances, but my very subjectivity. Is the Vajrakamari. Just as I am, just where I'm sitting right now. Namo Vajrakamari. Unborn, undying, timeless awareness, in time, in a mind, in a body, in a place. From the letters Oma Hung, within my heart center, inner heart essence, Hridayam, light radiates out and touches the inner and outer circumstances. We'll do that right now. Focus on the inner heart, and we extend, emanate the light to both the inner and outer circumstances. As Bodhidharma said, that the transmission does not belong to any tradition. It's the very nature of human awareness. That is the Buddha. We'll extend again to each other, to our circumstances, both within and beyond each other. This is the essential practice. And then the text says, and then the Dakinis bring forth their own divine substance, and they sing their own melody and experience the bliss of the substances that they bring forth in your body and in the world. At this point, they're now invoking the alchemical dimension. These offerings, these manifestations, are the essence of the root energies of the elemental light. By combining these offering activities in this way, I, the practitioner, will easily receive the supreme and ordinary cities, the powers, capacities. The Dakini, using passionate melodies, and the natural Dakini sign language, and then they write the secret language on those they love. And these offerings were made to the Dakinis. Ultimately, it means you're offering your own awareness to awareness as awareness. The offering, the offered, and the offering are exactly one. Inside a skull cup, inside a skull cup, the skull cup, is the brilliant, luminous quintessence of Amrita, bliss, innate bliss. The Rakta, that means the element, the viscous element, in the skull cup contains ripples and vortexes. Like wind. The precious sublime container holds the bodhicitta liquor, and drops of the Dharmakaya, liquid, light bodhicitta. Now actually they're talking, the container is the human heart. The Amrita portions have many flavors, sour, bitter, sweet, like human experience. These unsurpassable essential substances are offered to the Great Mother, Troma, the goddess of fierce and intense compassion. To the potion is really the heart drops of the Dharmakaya, which is compassion as drops. So they're offered to bring forth the white goddess, the bodily emanations of the great bliss. Ha. Mantra there. They're offered to bring forth the red goddess, the speech emanations of sound. And these emanations are ways of invoking that the body of light begins to form in us. They're offered to bring forth the awareness field emanations of Sangwa Yeshe, secret, timeless awareness. Perhaps we can feel that now. They're offered to bring forth the yellow goddess, earth goddess, of the qualities of accomplishment. That means something actually happens. They're offered to bring forth the green goddess who completes compassionate activities. And they're offered to the oceans of emanations of the mothers and sister Dakinis, these oceans of radiant light that you lean into. I ask you to consider me and accepting this offerings with love, devotion, and affection. Please bestow the ultimate realization of the unsurpassable Sangwa Yeshe, timeless awareness. We'll invoke that. In the gift of enjoying the companionship of the Dakinis. We must know that everything arises out of desire. Without desire, nothing happens. Then the Dakinis respond, ka ka, kahi, kahi. And they're saying, take it, receive it, take it. Now, the offering of Amrita, the secret mantra. Hung, the unsurpassable, supreme Amrita, these drops, is the substance that springs forth unbound bliss, Mahasukha. And I offer this to the mother and the sister Dakinis. Please accept this and bestow this empowerment in cities of this action. Omahung Sarva Pensa Amrita Karamakahi. So this is the process of being able to form. You can experience the heart drops and the capacity to release them into the world. If you would like to perform hand offerings of Amrita, make the offerings by saying the names of the various Dakinis. You can leave your eyes closed, and if you want, you can raise your right hand if you want to, as if there's light in your hand, and you're offering the heart drops. Omahung, this is offered to the wisdom Dakini of the Dharmakaya. Omahung. To the wisdom Dakini of the Sambhogakaya. Omahung. To the wisdom Dakini of Namanakaya. Omahung. To the only mother, the Troma, the goddess of compassion. Omahung. To the four classes of the secret Dakinis. Om-ahung. To the Vijidara, that means to the primordial guru, Padmasambhava. Omahung. To the Dakini Yeshitogo. Omahung. To Arjun Tessin Lingpa. Omahung. That is the person who revealed this text. To the Dakini Devadara. Omahung. To all the Bodhisattvas. Omahung. To the compassionate root crew, wherever that is for you. Om-ahung. To the Termagaudians. Om-ahung. That is the great energies, archetypes who protect the texts and transmission of the texts and the finding of these texts. And to the ocean of beings who are all worthy of offerings. This means to everyone, everything, ever. Omahung, Omahung, Omahung. And the text says, sends the Amrita descending and arising within your inner heart essence. Sense your capacity to feel it form in your inner heart and release. This dimension that this text is about is the liminal place between the Sambhogakaya dimension and the Manakaya. O Mahung, please bestow upon me at this very moment, this very place, the cities of enlightened body. I have a luminous body. Speech, may my voice transmit energy and light, and my mind, may it be at one within my awareness field, illuminated. Kaya Siddha Vakta Siddhi Testa Siddhi Abhisheka Hung. Now the praise of the experience. Hung Ho, from the sublime celestial land of Orgman, the mother comes through the power of compassion. The mother comes through the power of compassion. O black trauma. And the black trauma is on all the traditions in Christianity. She's different forms of Mary, like Our Lady of Guadalupe is considered a dark form of the mother. Montserrat, they're dark forms. Hinduism has dark forms, Kali. Sufism has its own forms. And the dark mothers is always present wherever suffering is. Fearless. It says, you are luminous and magnificent. There's also a ruthlessness about her too. You're luminous and magnificent, wearing the charnel ground ornaments. So now she's in that gaze. First she was in the palace, and now she's in the burial grounds. Blood, skulls. You raise fire in your hand, dissolving the demonic elements within me and everyone and every place. I embrace you. I embrace this experience. Hongo. O white dakinis, who light rays pacify. Hung. Yellow dakinis, whose laughter is enrich. Red dakinis, whose passion and radiance magnetize. Green dakinis, who release the demonic. Dakinis who blaze wondrously, who dances change dramatically, so lovingly, and whose laughter enriches. Vajraparosaho, Vajravahari Troti Kalihari Nisa Aveshabara Hung Pet. This means you're invoking that capacity. And Hung Pet means you can cut through stuff, you can leave what have to be left, and you can just keep unfolding and moving. Hung Pet. Hung Ka, you're the dark blue Kali, unchanging and magnificent. Ka, you're the goddess Kamoshe, another emanation. Ga, how could it be so many distinct emanations? Cha, you're surrounded by a host of Karmadakinis whooping and clamoring. Cha, the fierce goddess emanates in so many infinite forms and events. Cha, with the first portion of the potion. Na, the whole area is filled by the light of the moon. That's the light of the mother. Soft moon light. Touching, soothing. Then the poet says, you emanate, you come forward, you manifest like the powerful, moving planet Venus. And that is her energy. In this way, please establish all mother sentient beings on the path of enlightenment. All of them. You destroy crude behavior like black magic, curses, and other disastrous ways. Please bestow the supreme empowerment to the final stage. That means the deathless stage. You want to experience the deathlessness in this life. Pure awareness. Please release us into the open spaciousness of the all-good Mother Samata Bhadri. Bhadra Samaya Tista Hung Soha. That's again invoking the heart essence. Hung, from the unborn, completely pure Dharmadhatu. Miraculous forms arise and manifest in every possible way. O wisdom Dakini, protector of all beings, Vajravahari, stainless space illuminator, primordial guru, in myself and in others. I embrace you as my own self, having never been separated, never apart. Chema, because of not recognizing that thought-free, self-arising consciousness is the Dharmakaya. I mean, my own thought-free, self-arising consciousness is the Dharmakaya, potential space. O Mother, due to thoughts, I've been fixated on myself. I am totally get fixated on myself with this mind. Aham, I'm freed by embracing the Mother, the Dharmakaya, as myself. Because of not recognizing that all desires are self-originating and self-arising, and that thoughts, desires, and self are self-liberated as they arise. Because of not recognizing that all desires are self-originating and self-arising, that all thoughts, all desires, all feelings are self-liberated as they arise. If I just let them arise and dissolve. My experience is murky and bewildered. I embrace the Mother, Sambhogakaya, as my own awareness because of not recognizing the change of thoughts and movements of my mind are self-liberated in their very variety. I keep getting lost in thoughts, fixated, 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 fixated. Fixation is the enemy of awareness. I embraced the Mother, the Namanakaya, because of not recognizing that effortless, spontaneous, complete consciousness is beyond all exertion and striving. I suffer completely unnecessary trying to attain what is already given just as I am. Because I lack realization of what is, I have been caught up in decisions of yes and no, yes and no, no and yes. Because of not recognizing samsara and nirvana are in complete oneness, I create a split between myself and others in this world and the very beingness of my own being. I embrace the Mother, the wisdom Dakini, because of not recognizing that freedom from grasping at reference points and attributes are beyond this path. I seemingly progress in a fabricated way, which is no way at all, because of not recognizing that whatever happens is beyond arising and ceasing. that means I'm always in pure awareness, unborn and undying. Everything takes place within that. I've been striving in practice, accepting and rejecting. I do not realize that the mother is groundless and rootless. I embrace the mother who is beyond hope and despair. Who is beyond hope and despair. I go beyond that cognition. And not recognizing that birth and death are beyond all fear. Realization alone brings true confidence. Nature itself is what benefits beings. It's all nature. All apparent existence, everything I see, feel, smell, touch, is the realm of the Dakini. Movements of my mind, memory, and awareness are the state of primordial purity. All movements of my mind, memory, are all the state of primordial purity. The form of the trauma is the powerful play of compassion, the play of consciousness, the play of consciousness. The mother's great bliss, free from striving. All sentient beings are the Dharmakaya nature. How can you awaken without practicing meditation? How can you awaken without practicing meditation? The text says it 3 times. How can you possibly awaken without practicing meditation, which is becoming aware of your own awareness? By the power of the truth, may we realize the ultimate meaning of this text. And may everyone attain the state of the mother. You and I are the natural state of the great perfection. Pet, pet, pet. Ah, the unborn. Ah. Then its final statement. Bliss overcomes suffering. So we'll focus for a few moments on this great text, this practice. If you like, you can place Ma on the top of your head, that mantra Ma, which is the space, it evokes space. Ha, forehead, white, invokes the water element. Re, yellow, earth element, throat. Ni, fire element, the inner heart, right in the center of your chest. Doorway, right at the bottom between the breast. Knee, right there. Sa, navel. Maharinisa. Another way of practicing mantra this way. Omahung Yana Dakini Bam. Omahung Yana, direct perception. Bam, seed, syllable, essence. Dakini, direct perception. Goddess, feminine. Om Yana Dakini Bam. Ma, center of the heart. Ha, above that. Re to the right. Ni at the bottom. Left. Sa. Maharinisa. And you'll feel it whirl around at times. Omahong Yananakini Bam. Maha Renisa Siddhi Hong. And texts like this are considered manifestation of the field and traditions in the field and ways of invoking the field. And some of these symbolic texts are Dharmakaya invocations, some are Sambhogakaya invocations, and some are Namanakaya invocations. This text is an invocation of all three dimensions. And so they're considered empowerments and ways of helping bring forth dimensions of your own awareness that are still concealed. And if you're interested in this, but if you're interested in practicing this text, usually how this works, you take a text, you'll be given a text, and then you like practice it a month. You don't just take it and collect it, and you should feel like you really like it. If you feel ambivalent about it, I wouldn't bother with it. Just more ambivalence in your life. One more ambivalent moment, right? So I'd bypass that, but if you really feel like, wow, I love that text, that feeling of love is like indicator that this may be useful for you. And that's how this sort of thing works. And if you sign a piece of paper upstairs, then with your email, we'll email you one of these texts. Okay? We're going to start to end up now. We can rub our hands together and place it on our hearts. We can put the mantra back on, and you can go upstairs if you want. There's refreshments upstairs. You can meditate here. And I think on the 24th of December, there's going to be in Frederick, Maryland, there's going to be Havajra Tantra Empowerment. And the Lama that does it's quite excellent. And Havajra Tantra is one of these mythic stories and rituals that invoke the experience, that which it speaks about, that's what it talks about. And this particular tantra is a very early tantric, where it brings forth the experience, the understanding of purity, that all phenomena is completely pure, and that one can get beyond right and wrong, good and evil, better and best, and truth and falsity. And with that, equal vision opens for us in this world, and one experiences through all phenomena, it's the purity of the light and space. And then the following Saturday will be Avalokiteshvara. And Avalokiteshvara is right here is a tanka of Avalokiteshvara. And it's the heart essence of the great compassion. In Chinese, she's Kuan Yin. The mantra we've been playing is the mantra of Avalokiteshvara, the great compassion. And the great compassion is not a sentiment, it's not a feeling, it's not a thought. It is the very nature of the heart essence of awareness. It is true love, and it arises out of oneness, and it can be passed on from one person to another, since it is in everyone. Out of resonance it arises. Then one more final little thing before we end up. A couple of weeks ago, I don't mention last time, but it came to me as I was reading this. In Switzerland, where they have the great physics, what do they call that? It shoots the elements along. Well, they've been working with the void there, and they did some type of an equation where there was a mirror of what took, some kind of a equational mirror, what takes place, like the mirror here, but a mirroring some kind of logarithm or something. And when they did that, what arose out of the void was light. So the actual quantum point is void and light. It is the manifestation of light. To me, that's pretty cool. Anyway, thank you guys for being here, and we'll put the mantra on.
Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Om Mani Padme